Hello, I'm Rowan, and if you're like me, you kind of know what makes you comfortable and what makes you not so comfortable. And you know that as you get older, your body starts feeling pains and aches and stuff like that. And there's little things you can do to make these things not happen. Wrist pain, these little things here, these little metacarpals or whatever you want to call them, all the little tendons and all that. They get hurt if your desktop setup is not very nice. So today we're going to be talking about wrist guards or whatever you want to call them. These pads that you put on your desk that are supposed to be good for your wrists, right? Like, look at this mess. Here, let me scoot to one side. You can see that we have this wrist pad here, and it's designed for maybe a bigger keyboard or maybe a smaller keyboard with the mouse. And well, then we have this banana thing here that's supposed to be good for your wrist too. But what happens if your mouse is here and now you're between the two and it's this big gap, and now you can see Mr. R's wrist is all bent up instead of being flat. And the same thing with this numpad that he's put on the other side. Oh, sure, we could put the numpad on the other side, but then it'll just shift the problem over now, won't it? And then there's this keypad thing. Why is there a divot here? Are people not symmetric? Do we have like gigantor wrists in our right side and nothing on the left side? And maybe it's supposed to go this way instead. No, I don't know. Yeah, so this is garbage. This is, what the hell? What are you gonna do? I mean, I guess you could buy a bigger wrist pad or a bigger pad in general. Well, every time you want to do that, every time your equipment changes, you have to buy a new pad for however wide it is. Well, guess what? Selection doesn't exist. You can get a 19-inch, a 16-inch, a 24-inch. Well, what if you just want a pad that's all the way across for however much you need? I think you can get something like that, but it's going to cost a lot, and it's going to come with its own set of disadvantages. So what are we going to do about that? Well, we're going to build our own with this and this. Oh, it's a pool noodle that we've cut in half. This thing is at least 4 feet wide, and our desk is 4 feet wide. Actually, it's more than 4 feet. It's about 6 inches more than 4 feet, the pool noodle, not the desk. So, what's this thing? This is something you can get on Amazon. It is a stretchy tubular fabric. Yes. And we're going to put the tube on top of the tube, and we're going to make it a tube for tubing. One end here, and then we're going to sort of lay it out here, and we're going to not enough room, extend it to here, and then we're going to keep going. And now that's about the same length, but we want room for hemming and stuff like that Miss Anita says is important. So we're going to cut it about 6 inches further out than it needed to be. Yep. Okay. And now we're going to roll this back up. Yeah, I think this was like $10 on Amazon, or well, we'll get an accurate number somewhere. But for now, we're just gonna tuck this over and get it out of our way. There we go. Miss Anita will find that later, and she'll be wondering where the hell those came from. Stop making a mess, Mr. R. That's what she'll say. Okay, so now we're just gonna tuck this on here like a big old tube sock. Bet you didn't know you were gonna see this on a technical channel. Technically, it is a channel. Okay, grab up here, bring it down. Grab up here, bring it down. This is a little thinner than I thought it would be, but luckily that material's cheap, so we can have layers and layers, and it is soft. That's all we're doing is just sliding this down. We are putting the tube on the big pink thing. Oh yeah, there was this thing called sex ed in high school back when Mr. R went to school. We learned how to put tubes on pink things there too. Because abstinence only works if you can abstain. Yep, here we are, putting a big tube on top of a big tube. Yep, a cut tube. They say it's more hygienic that way. But hygiene is what you do, it's not what's there. So, just be careful and keep things hygienic. Clean things, yeah. Yes, we're working with the tube, getting my stuff done. Get that on there. Now, we should, if we measured right, we did measure right, right? It's a good thing we have extras. Because we might not have measured right. Measuring. You know, there's a set of standards and measures for everything, right? And it's amazing how something you measure shrinks because, well, oh, yeah, that's right. This tube is way longer than we need. Ha! We have to cut the end off the pink thing. We must trim the pink to make it fit right. We want it to be about this long. Right there. So let's just put a little notch there. Then we'll turn it around so we can actually do what we need to do. There we go. Then we pull the tube over. There's plenty here. Remember how we had an extra amount? Well, evidently, when things expand sideways, they shrink long ways. Unless you have enough stuff in there. Now we're pulling it over the other end. And that's a little short. Gosh darn it. It's a good thing we bought this in bulk. Because that's ugly. We don't want that. We want it to be tucked and trimmed and all that stuff. So, how are we going to do that? Well, we have plenty of materials. Tons and tons of material. Now, because we realize that this stuff obviously shrinks when it stretches sideways. We got to figure out how much we really need. Oh boy, this is going to get messy. So we'll take this end here and we'll let it roll out. Yay! And then we'll take this end and we'll tape it so that it doesn't do weird things. But basically, this is going on the inside. So we'll just get that taped enough so that we can take this keyboard and stuff is in the way. Okay. Get that out of the way. We're going to put another layer on, because that's what you do. Physical stuff's getting in the way. It's a problem with having a body. You have to work with space around you. It is much darker now with the second layer. But we need the slack to work with. Just like putting a sock on an elephant. So this pool noodle may be a little large in girth because, well, it's the size they had at the hardware store. You could get some pipe insulation, which is, smaller. I think you can get that in different sizes. And once you've got it split down the middle, you can, figure out if that's going to be the right size for you or if you need something bigger. Come on. Oh, wow, that's really grippy. At this point, we have to make sure that we're gripping the outer layer and not the inner layer. And it does tend to grip itself rather nicely. Oh, I think we have a twist. Gotta get the twist out of our stocking here. But we're mostly there. But it's the basis for having enough material where we need it. We have to do the work we're doing. Yeah, just pull it down. Come on. Maybe unseen it if you didn't. Yeah. Okay. Alright, we have enough there. That's about 4 or 5 inches there. And we want about 4 or 5 inches here also. Let's cut you off at about 6 inches. Better to have that extra than not. We grab the end, we tuck the top in, then we grab the bottom and we roll it over, and now we have a little wrinkle here. We're just gonna tuck it in some more, and voila, we have a clean tube that's like Spaceballs, where like you just start seeing it coming by and it's going and it's going and it's going and it's going, and eventually there's the other end. Okay. Okay, so here it is in situ. I don't know how much you got of this before, but right now we're recording it again. So here we are, and Miss Anita's talking in the background. Mr. R's mom called and needs some tech support, but here we are. That's it. Right now we're standing up, so it's hard to show you how the hand situation goes. Let's do this real quick. Squat down, and there we go. That's kind of what the arms are going to do. And yeah, we're rushing this because we have to do stuff with Mr. R's mom. We might do this again later, but there we go. Okay, so what do you think? Is it worth it? Well, speaking of is it worth it, how much did it cost? Well, I think it was like $10 or something really cheap on Amazon to get the fabric. The pool noodle was another $8 at the local hardware store. Cutting it was, it was a project in itself. But it was pretty simple, honestly speaking. And for maybe a total of $15, $20 max, I've got my own wrist rest that's custom sized. Now, some of you might be saying, gosh, that's really large, Rowan. And you'd be right, it is kind of big. But the thing is that I can take the material off and I can shave it down to be, less tall and still have this nice curve to it if I really think I need it. Or it could be that this is the right height because, Mr. R's wrists are not touching the table and he's definitely not having to bend his hands back or really down. This might be good. We'll find out now, won't we? But honestly, it's pretty comfy, and we'll get to where we'll talk about this later as to whether or not our wrists hurt more or less. Yeah. So I hope you found this video to be educational, informative, helpful, make you think outside the box a little bit. And until next time, I hope you have a great day or a great night wherever you are. And I hope to see you again real soon. Bye!